In 1940, a group of Soviet researchers allegedly conducted an experiment that would haunt the internet for decades. They used an experimental DAS-based stimulant to keep 5 political prisoners awake for 15 days straight. The story is a nightmare. By day 9, one prisoner screamed so hard his vocal cords literally disintegrated. By day 15, they refused to be rescued, claiming they no longer wanted to sleep because they had found the truth. Now, while the Russian sleep experiment is a brilliant piece of horror fiction, the scientific reality is actually much darker. Because in real life, you don't become a monster, you become a ghost. Your brain doesn't just stop working. It begins to cannibalize itself, sector by sector, until the person you used to be is replaced by a screaming void of neurons and toxic sludge. Today, we are going to perform the terminal phase experiment. We are documenting the exact 264-hour timeline of a human being's total neurological collapse. We are going to look at why your brain starts eating its own healthy synapses, how your DNA literally unravels at the molecular level, and why, at a certain point, sleep becomes impossible even if you want it. This is the forensic breakdown of your extinction. If you think you can handle 20 minutes of the truth, stay tuned. The clock starts now. To understand why you die without sleep, you first have to understand the biological debt. Every second you are awake, your brain's neurons are firing, burning energy, and producing a byproduct called adenosine. Think of adenosine as your brain's sleep pressure. It builds up like water behind a dam. The longer you are awake, the higher the pressure. Why don't we just pass out at 18 hours? Because of the circadian rhythm override. Around the 24-hour mark, your body realizes you are in a crisis. It assumes you are running for your life. To save you, it triggers the dopamine trap. Your brain floods your system with reward chemicals and norepinephrine to keep you alert. This is why you feel that second wind, a sudden burst of energy that makes you feel invincible, talkative, and sharp. But it's a biological illusion. Inside your prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that handles logic, social filter, and impulse control, the lights are going out. At 24 hours of wakefulness, your cognitive impairment is identical to someone with a blood alcohol concentration of 0.10%. You are clinically, legally drunk on your own exhaustion. Your error rate in simple tasks increases by 400%, but because of the dopamine, you think you're doing a great job. This is the most dangerous phase. You are a high-speed vehicle with no brakes and a driver who thinks he's an F1 pilot. 2 days. The dopamine is gone. The adrenaline has dried up. Now, the physical world begins to bend. Your core body temperature is dropping because your hypothalamus, the brain's thermostat, is failing. You start to feel a bone-chilling cold that no jacket can fix. Have you ever seen something moving in the corner of your eye? By hour 72, you enter the Hat Man phase. This is a documented phenomenon where sleep-deprived subjects report seeing a tall, shadowy figure in a hat standing in their peripheral vision. This isn't a ghost, it's pareidolia. Your visual cortex is so exhausted it can no longer filter out the noise from the signal. Your brain starts turning shadows, coat rocks, and curtains into threats. But it gets weirder. You begin to experience microsleeps. Your brain starts blocking out for 10 to 15 seconds at a time while your eyes are wide open. During these seconds, you're effectively in a coma. If you're talking, you might continue to mutter gibberish. If you're walking, you become a zombie. Your thalamus, the brain's switchboard, is starting to glitch. It's letting the subconscious dream world leak into your waking reality. You aren't just tired, you are hallucinating while standing up. If you think the hallucinations are bad, what's happening inside your cells will keep you awake forever.
Let's talk about the glymphatic wash. Every night when you sleep, your brain cells shrink by 60%, allowing cerebrospinal fluid to rush in like a high-pressure hose and wash away toxic proteins like beta amyloid. This is your brain's janitor service. But you haven't slept in 4 days. The trash is piling up. It's clogging your synapses. And here is the dark discovery made by researchers at the Marquette Polytechnic University. When the trash isn't washed away, your immune cells, specifically the microglia, go rogue. Instead of cleaning up debris, they start eating your healthy neurons. Your brain is literally cannibalizing its own hardware to try and clear the blockage. You are physically losing the neural pathways that make you you. This is the same mechanism seen in late-stage Alzheimer's patients, but you are experiencing it in high speed. Your brain is suffocating in its own metabolic waste. You are losing the ability to speak, to remember, and eventually to think. Day 5. You have officially crossed the point of no return. Your immune system has effectively surrendered. Your T-cell count, the elite soldiers that fight off viruses, has dropped to nearly zero. A simple scratch on your arm could lead to a lethal infection. But look deeper, at the molecular level. Research from the University of Surrey has shown that after 5 days of sleep deprivation, the expression of over 700 genes in your body are altered. The genes that protect you from cancer, stress, and heart disease are switched off. The genes that cause inflammation and tumor growth are switched on. You are physically unraveling at the genetic level. Your autonomic nervous system is now in total chaos. This is the part of your brain that handles things you don't think about, your heart rate and your breathing. Without sleep, the communication between your brain and your heart becomes noisy. Your heart rate spikes to 150 beats per minute while you're sitting down, then drops to 40. Your blood pressure is a roller coaster. Your body has forgotten how to maintain life. Is there a limit? Can you actually die from a lack of sleep? The answer is buried in a rare genetic mutation called fatal familial insomnia. It starts with a mild inability to nap. Then the gate to sleep, the thalamus, permanently locks shut. These patients spend months in a state of total exhaustion that no pill, no drug, and no doctor can fix. They lose weight rapidly, they stop speaking, and eventually they descend into a terrifying form of rapid onset dementia. Their body temperature hits 40 degrees Celsius, and they die in a state of total, wide-awake agony. It proves that sleep isn't an option for humans. It is a biological requirement as vital as oxygen. Without it, the brain effectively overheats and burns itself out. Tonight, we look at the 1964 case of Randy Gardner. He stayed awake for 264 hours. By the end, he couldn't identify objects by touch. He thought he was a famous athlete. He was insulted by inanimate objects. But Gardner was lucky. He was young. His brain was able to perform local sleep, shutting down parts of his brain while he was still talking to save his life. Most of us wouldn't be so lucky. The experiment is over. You've seen the shadow people. You've watched your brain eat its own neurons, and you've felt your heart lose its rhythm. Sleep isn't a break from life. It is the price you pay for being alive. Every hour you steal from your sleep, you are taking a loan from your future health, a loan with 500% interest. Tonight, when you feel that heavy pull in your eyelids, don't fight it. That's your brain's janitor, ready to start the night shift. Give him the keys, go to bed, because the alternative is the terminal phase.